Title: The Lost Star of Sprocket Cove. 1. A ripple in the dimensional sea. The night sky over New York was a quilt of glittering stars, but one of them pulsed oddly, as if a heartbeat were trying to break through its cold light. Below, the city's neon arteries throbbed with life, and somewhere between a billboard flashing spinach power and the flickering sign of a cartoon theater, a small, shabby alleyway hid an inconspicuous, round-eyed cat. Felix the cat stretched his whiskers, his black fur catching a stray beam of moonlight. In his tiny, well-worn pocket hung a single, gleaming button, one of his endless magic tricks. Tonight, the cosmos seemed to whisper a peculiar invitation. A sudden gust of wind, oddly sweet, tinged with brine, swept the alley. Felix's ears perked. The button vibrated, humming a low, melodic note that sounded like a distant telephone ring. With a flick of his tail, the cat pressed the button, and the world around him rippled like a pond struck by a stone. A portal opened, its edges shimmering with green and gold. From it stepped a hulking figure in a sailor's cap, his forearms bulging like ship ropes. He smelled of the sea and old canvas, his bright orange shirt clashing with the midnight shadows. "Ahoy," the man boomed, his voice a mix of thunder and rumble. "I'm Popeye the Sailor Man, and I'm looking for a can of spinach." He tipped his cap, and his eyes flicked to the portal, then to Felix. The cat chuckled, the sound a soft purr that seemed to echo in the empty street. "Well, you're a little late for the spinach, Popeye, but you're just in time for an adventure." Before Popeye could answer, the portal widened again, and a flash of silver and blue tore through the night. A boy in every sense of the word, descended, his hair a spiky plume of steel, his eyes glowing an earnest amber. He landed with a soft thud, his metal feet emitting a faint hum. "I'm Astro Boy," the android announced, bowing politely. "I detected a disturbance in the temporal field. May I be of assistance?" Felix's whiskers twitched. "Ladies and gents, we've got ourselves a cosmic conundrum. That star up there, it's not just any star, it's the heart of the cosmos, and it's been stolen." Popeye squinted at the sky. "Stolen? Who'sa?" "The Gloom Master," Felix interrupted, tapping the button again. A holographic map of a fog-shrouded island materialized above his head. "He's holed up in Sprocket Cove, an island that pops up only once every 100 years. He wants to use the heart to plunge the entire universe into darkness." Astro's circuitry word. "Then we must retrieve it. I'll calculate the fastest route." Popey's eyes narrowed. "And I've got spinach on standby. Let's set sail." A thunderous howl rumbled across the city as the portal widened, swallowing the trio and spitting them out onto a craggy shore bathed in phosphorescent mist. 2. Sprocket Cove, the island of forgotten machines. Sprocket Cove was a place where rusted gears and antiquated contraptions lay strewn across the sand like fallen stars. Towering clockwork towers crooned a steady tick-tock, and the air smelled of oil, ozone, and a hint of something sweet, perhaps the lingering memory of sunset. The Gloom Master's silhouette loomed atop the largest tower, a cloaked figure whose very presence seemed to dim the light around him. In his hand, he cradled a pulsating sapphire orb, the heart of the cosmos. "You're too late," the master hissed, his voice a chorus of broken radios. "With this heart, I shall erase all light, and the universe will bow to my shadow." Popeye jabbed his thumb into his pocket, pulling out a can of spinach. "I'm ready to spinach my way out of that," he declared, cocking his fist. Felix, never one for subtlety, flicked his ears, and from his pocket a swarm of tiny, sparkling balloons escaped, inflating into a floating platform that lifted them a few feet above the ground. Astro Boy floated beside them, his magnetic boots humming. "My sensors indicate that the heart is stabilized by a field generator embedded in the tower's core. If we can disrupt that generator, the heart will become inert and the Gloom Master's power will vanish." "Disrupt?" Popeye grunted. "You mean we gotta smash some gears?" Felix's eye twinkled. "Actually, I have a better idea." He pressed the button again, and a brilliant beam of light erupted from his tail, striking the nearest gear. The gear spun faster, then exploded into a shower of sparkling confetti. The tower shuddered, gears clanking in a chaotic symphony. At that moment, Popeye hurled the can of spinach straight into the mouth of the tower, its contents detonating in a green, vaporous plume that surged through the structure like a living fire. The vapor seeped into the gears, oiling them, lubricating them, and most importantly, causing the field generator to overheat. Astro Boy, his eyes glowing brighter, extended his arms and unleashed a focused pulse of electromagnetic energy. The field generator sputtered, crackled, and then detonated in a brilliant flash of silver and gold, sending shards of metal spiraling into the air. The Gloom Master shrieked, the dark cloak unraveling as the heart of the cosmos escaped his grasp, floating like a luminescent tear toward the sea. 3. The chase across the nebulous sea. The heart, free from the tower's grip, skittered across the water, leaving a luminous trail that cut through the mist. The trio scrambled onto the floating balloon platform. Felix, with a mischievous grin, nudged the button once more, and the platform sprouted a pair of vortex blades, steel fins that whirred like the wings of a hummingbird. Popeye's muscles tensed. "Hold on, you you cat. I'm about to give Em a spinach boost that'll knock the wind out of Em." He popped the spinach, and his forearms swelled, veins bulging like rope. Astro Boy, his circuits humming, projected a protective dome around them, his hands shaping the energy into a gleaming shield. The heart darted toward a massive whirlpool at the island's center, a vortex that seemed to sip the moon itself. As it approached, the whirlpool strained, ready to swallow the star. Felix's balloons whizzed forward, their vortex blades slicing through the foam. Popeye, with a mighty roar, launched himself from the platform, his body turning into a spinning projectile, like a cannonball made of flesh and will. He struck the whirlpool's edge, his spinach-charged punch delivering a surge of green light that splintered the vortex's darkness. Astro Boy's shield expanded, wrapping the heart in a cocoon of bright amber. "Now!" he shouted. Felix pressed the button one final time. A cascade of golden fireworks erupted from the platform, enveloping the heart in a radiant cage. The swirling energies of the vortex recoiled, unable to bear the purity of the light. With a final, thunderous crack, the whirlpool collapsed, and the heart hovered above the sea, humming a gentle, cosmic lullaby. The Gloom Master, stripped of his cloak, fell to his knees, his eyes turning from black void to a soft, repentant blue. "Perhaps I was wrong," he whispered. "I wanted control, but I see now there is balance." Astro Boy floated down, gently cradling the heart. "The universe thrives on balance. Let us return it to its rightful place." Popeye clapped his massive hands together. "Aye, that's the spirit. And after that, how about a spinach omelet on the beach?" Felix's tail flicked lazily. "I think a nice quiet night watching the stars is just fine." The Gloom Master, humbled, bowed his head. "I will guard the portal that led you here, so no one else may misuse such power." The trio nodded, feeling the weight of destiny lift from their shoulders. With a final press of the magical button, the portal reappeared, shimmering like a silver tear in the night. For homecoming and a promise. Back in New York, the alley was exactly as Felix had left it, quiet, rain-slick, and smelling faintly of sea spray. Popeye stood on the curb, the can of spinach now empty, his eyes shining with unspoken gratitude. "You know, Cat," Popeye said, "I never thought I'd be in a universe spanning adventure with a robot and a magical kitty. But I've learned something. There's strength in friends, no matter how odd they seem." Astro Boy floated down, his metal feet barely making a sound on the cobblestones. "I have logged this adventure in my memory core. It has taught me that compassion can turn a weapon into a guardian." Felix yawned, the moonlight catching his whiskers. "Adventure is just a button press away. And remember, sometimes the biggest magic is a good heart." The Gloom Master's portal lingered a moment longer, a faint glow like a dying ember. From its depths, a tiny, pulsing seed drifted down onto the alley floor. The cat nudged it with his paw, and it sprouted instantly into a glowing sapling, its leaves twinkling like distant stars. "It's a reminder," Astro said softly, "that even darkness can birth light." Popeye nodded, his voice husky with emotion, and that a good can of spinach can forge friendships. They all laughed, the sound echoing through the night. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky, the trio went their separate ways, Felix disappearing into a puddle of moonlight, Popeye boarding his ship for another salty haul, and Astro Boy soaring above the city, his heart, though synthetic, beating in rhythm with the world. And somewhere in the quiet heart of New York, a little sapling glowed, its roots tangled with the fabric of the universe, waiting for the next adventure to sprout. The end.